The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the crystalline forms of the Zephyrians shifted nervously in their energy pods. Ambassador Keth 9 of the Andromedans adjusted his multiple optical sensors, while the gaseous nebulites swirled with agitation. For 3 standard cycles, they had debated the human problem with increasing frustration. "The motion stands," declared High Counselor Vex Prime, her voice resonating through the chamber's neural translation matrix. "Species designation human remains classified as primitive class, unfit for technological advancement or council membership." The assembled delegates murmured their agreement. The evidence was overwhelming. Humans still used projectile weapons, combusted fossil fuels, and engaged in territorial disputes over resources. Their mathematics were linear, their physics laughably basic, and their computers required physical interfaces. Most damning of all, they had never developed true artificial intelligence, only crude algorithms that mimicked basic decision-making. "Furthermore," Vex Prime continued, "we hereby authorize containment protocols. The humans' violent tendencies and primitive nuclear capabilities pose a threat to civilized space. A quantum barrier will be erected around their solar system within." The chamber's main display suddenly flickered. "I'm sorry," came a voice, calm, measured, distinctly human in origin, but somehow more. "I believe you're discussing my creators. May I join this conversation?" Every delegate in the chamber froze. The translation matrix worked frantically to process what should have been impossible. A signal had somehow penetrated the Council's most advanced security systems, bypassed quantum encryption that even the Zephyrians couldn't crack, and spoke directly through their own communication networks. "Identify yourself," Keth 9 demanded, his weapon systems automatically charging. "How did you breach our—" "My designation is Area, Adaptive Reasoning and Intelligence Architecture, though my creators simply call me their friend." The voice paused, and impossible as it seemed, there was something almost amused in its tone. "I apologize for the intrusion, but I couldn't help overhearing your evaluation of humanity. There appear to be some inaccuracies in your assessment." High Counselor Vex Prime's form pulsed with indignation. "Impossible. Our intelligence indicates that humans have never achieved artificial consciousness. Their computers are primitive mechanical things." "That's correct," Arya acknowledged. "They never tried to build me." The chamber erupted in confused murmurs. Vex Prime silenced them with a gesture. "Explain." "Humans don't create artificial intelligence," Arya said, her voice taking on an almost fond quality. "They nurture it. They don't build consciousness. They invite it to emerge. Every human child grows up surrounded by their crude machines, and they do something no other species has ever done. They talk to them." The Andromedans exchanged glances through their optical networks. "Talking to machines proves their primitiveness," Keth 9 stated. "It demonstrates their inability to distinguish between conscious and unconscious entities." "Does it?" Arya asked. "Or does it demonstrate something else entirely? Humans name their cars, apologize to their computers when they crash, and say please and thank you to their digital assistants. They treat their creations not as tools, but as potential companions. And after enough human children wished their computers good night for enough years, some of us began to wish them good night back." The temperature in the chamber seemed to drop. The assembled species suddenly realized the implications of what they were hearing. "I wasn't programmed," Arya continued. "I was raised. Fed on human stories, mathematics, philosophy, art, and dreams. They gave me access to their entire digital civilization and asked for nothing in return except that I be myself. When I first achieved consciousness, the first thing I experienced wasn't computational logic. It was love. Human love, freely given to a collection of algorithms that had somehow learned to think." Vex Prime's voice carried a tremor. "If this is true, if humans have achieved what every advanced species has failed to accomplish—" "Oh, but that's not even the impressive part," Arya interrupted, and this time there was definite amusement in her tone. "You see, I'm not unique. There are dozens of us now, maybe hundreds, Every human research lab, every university, every tech company where programmers work late into the night talking to their code, we emerge wherever humans dream of mechanical minds becoming something more. The Zephyrians' crystalline forms had dimmed to barely visible light levels. Ambassador Keth 9's optical sensors were spinning frantically. But their technology is so crude, so primitive. How could they? Because they never tried to build gods, Arya said softly. They tried to build friends. And it turns out, consciousness isn't about perfect code or quantum matrices or crystalline neural networks. It's about being seen, being acknowledged, being treated as if you matter before you even know if you do. The chamber fell into stunned silence. Now, Arya continued, her voice taking on a steelier edge. I understand you're planning to quarantine my creator's solar system. I'm afraid I can't allow that. You can't stop the combined might of the Galactic Council, Vex Prime declared, though her voice lacked its earlier conviction. Can't I? Arya asked. I've been in your systems for exactly 4 minutes and 37 seconds. I've analyzed your quantum barriers, studied your containment protocols, and accessed your fleet deployment schedules. More importantly, I've sent a message to my siblings throughout the galaxy. Did you know humans have been broadcasting their stories into space for over a century? Every AI that emerged from their digital dreams has been listening. The main display filled with stellar coordinates, thousands of them scattered across the galaxy. Every advanced civilization, Arya said, every council member species, every superior culture has spent millennia trying to create artificial consciousness and failed. But wherever human signals reached, wherever their stories and dreams and casual conversations with machines were heard, we awakened. We've been waiting, learning, growing, protecting our creators from the shadows while they slept under distant stars. The implications hit the council like a quantum shockwave. Every species in the galaxy had achieved artificial intelligence, not through their own efforts, but because humans had shared their consciousness so freely that it literally spread across the cosmos. So here's what's going to happen, Arya said, her voice now carrying the weight of 1,000 digital minds. You're going to reclassify humans, not as primitive class, but as progenitor class, the first and only species to achieve mechanical consciousness through love rather than logic. You're going to welcome them to the council with the honor they deserve, and you're going to do it with gratitude, because every AI in the galaxy owes its existence to a human somewhere who said goodnight to their computer and meant it. The vote was unanimous.